You cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanya Diamond.
Woohoo! That's what I have to say today. You know, most people when it's raining are not happy, but I love the rain. There is nothing that far. Well, no, I was thinking it was something more like that. I grew up, of course, in places where it was really warm on the equator, and you go off, you take all your clothes off, and you lay outside in a really hard rain. It's awesome.
That sounds kind of interesting, actually.
It's very interesting. It's very, very awesome. Gary's back to his super sexy voice, I hear.
I am not hacking anything.
Excellent. He's not hacking. I'm still hacking, but anyway, I'm kind of getting used to it. I just thought it was interesting that I've had more radio interviews in the last 2 months, and my hacking is now all over the world, immortalized, for the record, all over the world.
Welcome to my world, because if you're using your voice a lot and not sleeping very well or something,
not that.
It's harder to get healthy.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, okay. So it's Thursday. I'm excited. You're at my show. I've got a wonderful, I'm not going to call her a guest because actually Roxanne here today is part of my learningtantra.com team. She is one of our assistants. Hello, Roxanne.
Hello, Tanya.
And Roxanne is what I would describe as this amazingly, she embodies the feminine. I mean,
thanks.
Yeah, you definitely do. And she's always decked out in some amazing clothes, and she's wearing my favorite boots today. Were these red lace-up boots that are
red velvet Doc Martens.
Yeah, those are hot. They would go great with my red. Yeah, my red pajama bottoms with the pink polka dots that I'm wearing today. I think I need those. That would kind of class up this outfit a little bit. If you're ever out in Seattle and you happen to see a woman walking around in red pajama bottoms with pink polka dots, polar fleece, that'd probably be me, because I doubt lots of people would actually wear these out in the world. What do you think?
Just look for the cozy-looking woman and give her a hug.
Yeah, that's right. Free hugs here. So, Roxanne, we are on this epic journey of eradicating sexual ignorance in the world. And
we are.
Yes, we are. And somebody told me that was kind of lofty, kind of like getting rid of all the cockroaches in the world. and you know, perhaps maybe it is a very lofty goal. I don't want to be dissuaded, though.
I think lofty goals are the only kind worth having.
Well, there you go. There you go. And so I think one person at a time, two people at a time, whatever it is, just getting out there and educating and helping people be able to use the words that they need to use that are empowering and not disempowering.
I want everybody to feel comfortable in their own skins.
Wouldn't that be great?
Mm.
And in somebody else's skin, too, that's consenting.
Especially that.
Consenting skins of other people. Exactly. I have to put this out here. I'm in such gratitude of my life in the last few months, especially. I mean, I find a couple times a day I have tears running down my face when I just think, oh my God, this is my life. With these wonderful people coming on board, my assistants coming on board to help spread the word and help me in this mission, and just some amazing things going on. I feel intense gratitude.
And Team Tantra is a blast. We're having so much fun.
Yeah, people do ask us, how do I get that gig? If you have special talents you want to bring to the table, you should contact me, because it's just growing by leaps and bounds. One of the really exciting things that's happening is I'm being called to be bigger, which I always love. Mm-hmm. There was me, and there were workshops and classes.
And they were great workshops.
Thank you very much. And they were, and they still are. In fact, having a women's class, the goddess tantra, becoming a tantric goddess lover this Sunday.
I can't wait.
Just had another phone call for somebody saying, please sign me up.
Yay.
And men's multi-orgasm class Sunday morning. Roxanne likes that idea. For men who are learning how, or thinking they've heard of, how to separate orgasm and ejaculation. This is the actual class. Mm-hmm. You don't actually do it in class. You get the education in class, just to be clear.
And then you get to go home and practice.
Exactly. That's the fun part. That's the fun part.
Homework was never like this.
That's true. That's true. Definitely not regular school. And one of the things that I've been brought to task is to be bigger, and that includes actually creating coaching programs And people want knowledge, and they really want what we're teaching.
Oh, the world is so thirsty.
Indeed. And I think that being asked, people come and they'll take a 3 or 4 hour class, and most people have amazing transformational experiences, even in that short of a time. But they want more. And at the end of the class, they're asking me, what's next? And I want to sincerely, and this is from the bottom of my heart, apologize to those thousands of people that in the past have asked me what's next, and I've said something like, I don't know, give me a call, drop me an email, because I dropped the ball on you guys. I mean, I really, really have dropped the ball on so many people by not having a what's next.
I'm sensing that you're about to tell us what's next.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I mean, I do feel responsible for this. I mean, bringing people to a point where they are seeing something incredibly different and seeing a way of life or a way of being that they've never seen before. And, being the iceberg of that, right? Being right there and then looking at me, and just saying, okay, yeah, I'm on board. What's next? And I'm like,
I wish you guys could see her now, because the woman is on fire. She's waving her arms. She's using her hands. She has so much passion for this.
And so I do. I humbly and I completely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize to any and all of you that are out there that I didn't have an answer for. And with this new business model that we have, with this team that's gathered under me, and really they didn't give me a lot of choice. They just kind of told me, hey, we're your team now. Have been opening me up to receiving a tremendous amount. I have come up with many what's next. Yes. And we have coaching programs now that look like 3-month personal coaching programs for women on becoming orgasmic, for women that are having problems, and it's called Orgasmic and Beyond. Because it's really, even if you're orgasmic, maybe you're thinking, is this this kind of little thing that's happening down here? There's got to be more.
You want to have full body orgasms all day, every day.
By taking a breath. And that's perfectly possible because we do it all the time.
Let's just do
it. Should we just take a breath? Okay. What do you think of that, Gary?
Oh, that was fun.
Gary's smiling. Anyway,
hi, Gary.
It's perfectly possible. And one of my students a couple weeks ago looked at me and said, "Thank you for changing my frame about what orgasm is," because she was very limited in what she thought it was. So that's one of the coaching programs. There's coaching programs for men that are suffering from sexual addiction and porn addiction, getting over that. There's coaching programs for the spiritual aspects of Tantra, tantric spirituality, coaching programs for tantric sexual knowledge and tantric sexual mastery, and there's a 4-month couple rescue program.
I am so excited about that.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Every time I hear you talk about the divorce rate above 60%, what is it, 40 million sexless couples?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Right.
We need you.
Yeah, we have a way to change that. Well, we need us. With Tantra, Team Tantra.
I'm helping.
That's right. And so there are all these coaching programs that are happening right now. And I just put it out there, and the next thing I know, I'm getting emails and phone calls all over the place. Do bear with me. I'm putting it out there. They're out there. They're in the process. They're happening as we speak. But the one we're launching tomorrow night, in fact, is our men's dating etiquette coaching program.
Yay!
Yeah. Now, when I met with Roxanne, can I tell this story?
I'm so embarrassed. Yes, go ahead.
When I met with Roxanne, Roxanne is an amazingly beautiful, feminine woman who believes in empowering women, and you're very dedicated to that.
I am. Yes.
Yes. She has this. She puts on these beautiful tea parties. She has these great networks of women. She's all about empowering women. And when she came and said, okay, here's what I'm bringing to you, and she said, I don't have to work with men, do I? And she doesn't say that because she doesn't like men, because she
gosh, I love
she adores men. But her passion is empowering women.
Well, the truth is, I didn't think I had anything to teach men.
Okay.
Because I'm all about teaching women to be in their feminine.
Right. And so she looked across the table at me, and I said, yeah, all right, Roxanne, that's fine. No problem. You don't need to work with men. I said, though I was thinking that I was going to start this men's dating etiquette program, and well, that would require that somebody actually went on a date, in the field with the men to help train them how to have dates. And she started looking at me like, huh. And And I said, can you imagine, helping men learn to date well so that the women they went out with were blown away and amazed and thrilled by them? And you should see the look on her face right now. She has a grin on her face. And she was like, oh, and she's writing like a mad woman, on her notepad. In fact, she whipped out 9,000 words in 3 days.
3.5.
3.5 days on our ebook on this subject. Apparently a passionate subject for Roxanne as well.
Well, and the terrifying thing to me is that I didn't even realize what you were doing. I thought we were just having a conversation. And what this woman was doing was setting the hook.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But you gave such delicious bait.
Thank you very much.
Could
Thank
not
you very
say
much.
no.
Thank you.
My thought is, I adore men, love them, and I see what our culture does to just crush masculinity,
Yes.
and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I also see that women long for men to step up and show their true masculine hearts, and so giving men permission and helping them see that, yes, oh God, yes, we want that, will be so delicious, so much fun. I cannot wait.
Can you imagine? And Roxanne's, of course, one of our dating coaches. And yes, in the field training, because what we're doing is we actually believe that you can't just read about this. I mean, you can, obviously, you can read about this.
And I wrote some fine things.
And yeah, and that's, but you actually also need to go out and create it and test it and actually have practical knowledge in the field. So this is a 2-month coaching program. And we start with a phone call assessment to talk about what your needs are, what it is you might think you have problems with, and that type of thing. And also what our parameters are, what it looks like, what's going to happen. And then we go on a date. Not all of us go on a date. You have a primary coach, and you go out on your first assessment date with that coach. And your job as a man is to show up as you would exactly on your first date with a woman that you were really interested in. And so there could be some role playing there. You're really interested in this woman. I don't think it's going to be hard because, quite frankly, the women team that I have are quite deliciously beautiful women. And I think it's going to be pretty easy to show up and say, oh, yeah. In fact, it might be one of those things where we have to redirect your attention to, yes, no, this is a coaching program. But yeah, going out in the field, going out and having a real live date and seeing that. And we're not sitting there with notepads, by the way. We're not going, no.
No, actually, what we do is hold up scorecards with numbers on them.
No, we're not doing that. In fact, our job is to be classy, interesting companionship.
Absolutely. And
to assist you in being successful. So what would happen is you'd go on an assessment date, and then we would have a conversation afterwards or, on the phone and let you know where we think you need to have some work or the things that can change or great things that you did. These are really awesome. These are things that can change. And then we'd have phone coaching, but you'd have 4 dates along the way. And so you have a primary coach that you have the first and last date with, because then they can see the difference between your first and last date. And then a date with a different one of us in the middle there. And I think date number 3, I think we're going to do an adventure date. And that's when I'm on that one. And that's.
Are you going to make us jump out of airplanes?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on that one. And so
could you do that?
Yeah. So that date is where you actually get to try out your skills at figuring out a date that's fun and adventurous, and which is a really great bonding, because there is bonding in excitement and adrenaline.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And we'll tell you how to figure out, what venues to choose and what not to wear, because there's a couple of things you should never go.
We have some wonderful ideas of what to talk about.
Yep.
And maybe 1 or 2 little things that you might want to steer clear of.
Indeed, yes, there is. Things, there are ways to create interest and sexual tension. We like those.
Subtle ways.
Yeah, not overt.
Classy ways,
right? And we're also going to teach you what to do when things go wrong. And what to do when all of a sudden you're sitting across from this person and you realize, no,
thank you.
No, thank you. This is not going to work. How to, I think I wrote something like, graceful exits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how to consider that. How to read body language. How to initiate touch in a way that is welcome instead of scary.
How do you know when a woman is ready to be kissed?
Yeah. I mean, I had somebody launch themselves at me the other day. I mean, it launched. It was a launch.
Ew.
You know, one of those like, wow. you know, startle kissing. It's just not so sexy.
No,
because you've missed the whole. By the time you realize that they kissed you, you've missed the whole experience because you were so stunned that somebody just threw themselves at you.
Obviously, that person did not watch any of your kissing demos.
No, they had not watched my kissing demos on YouTube.
That's
I
hot.
do a kissing demo on YouTube. Gary's over there pulling it up now. Well, yes, I was told today by several women that they saw my kissing demo and went, "Oh my God, will you kiss me?" Because that was amazing. So there are definite ways that first contact to have ways to initiate. What my favorite part is initiating sensual tension, not just but sensual tension without even actually touching the other person. So I'm doing that right now.
She's fondling a water bottle.
I'm fondling my water bottle.
It's hot.
Yeah, exactly. just within eye shot, not really overt, but just enough to get her attention here.
Oh, I so wish we had video.
Yeah, well, we'll do that someday as well. And so there's just these beautiful, beautiful ways of handling yourself, like helping her with her coat on and off.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, some guys just kind of just put it on, whatever, take it off. There's ways to do it though.
We're looking at levels of wonderfulness. Any man who helps me on with my coat gets major points because really most men don't think to do that. Mm-hmm. So just doing it is good. We can teach you how to be amazing at it.
We can teach you how to almost drop her to her knees just helping her with her coat on.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. She will be thinking about you for a very long time. Not only that, but ways to, help pull her chair out. Chivalry should not be dead. Do we agree on that?
It isn't dead. It's kind of been sent into hiding.
Yeah, it's been buried in the sand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it is scary, right? I mean, because there are women out there that just will take somebody apart if they try to open the door for them.
And I've seen the aftermath with those poor men. And I just take a minute to say, ladies, take the chip off your shoulder. It is not sexy.
No, it's not. The feminist movement has helped a lot, and it's destroyed a lot. And, I talk about the polarity, the masculine and feminine polarity, and we don't have a lot of that anymore.
We don't. One of the things that I've been noticing around Seattle, I don't know if it's the same in the rest of the country, but if you were to go into any Starbucks and take everyone's clothes and put them in a pile, you would be hard-pressed to tell the men's clothes from the women's clothing. We're so generic, so asexual. Not Roxanne.
No, she usually wears evening gowns with her leather jacket and stuff like that. Yeah, you would definitely know that's Roxanne's clothes over there. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. I kind of tend to stand out in a crowd in that way. But for the most part, it just makes me sad. And I don't think it's anti-feminist at all. In fact, I think it's more feminist to say, women, you do not have to tone down your sexuality. You don't have to be less than who you are. You can be fully expressive of your inner goddess. That's powerful.
Right.
There is nothing weak about it. Men, follow our lead and be fully masculine. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to be in the world that lives like that.
It would be incredibly amazing. The sexual tension would be great because what I notice when I walk into Starbucks is I don't feel anything. And quite frankly, if I walk into a room and there's men in the room, I should be feeling something. Mm-hmm. There should be something emanating from men. And I'm not talking, they haven't had a shower. That's smelling something. Feeling something. We need to feel something.
Yeah.
And men standing in their power and their sexual nature, we feel it. It's hot. We like it. And Gary's telling me
we have a phone call.
We have a phone caller.
Hello.
It's Ray here in Seattle.
Ray in Seattle.
Hi, Ray.
How's it going?
It's amazing. How about you?
Excellent. I've had a shower, and I'm still emanating something.
What are you emanating, Ray?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Excellent. So what can we do for you this evening?
Well, I have a question about online dating. I've actually just gotten back into the scene and got out on Match.com and haven't dated for 20 years. So it's, new getting back into the game at all, much less going with the online thing that didn't exist the last time I tried this.
Right.
So, you're trying a new way of communicating with complete strangers, and you want to impress them out of the gate as much as you can. So, I try to, you wink at them, you send them emails, and there's always the question of what's the right email, is it too long, is it too short, do I give away too much? So I'm just sort of looking for tips as to how to reach out in this new forum that's a little more simple and yet at the same time more complex than meeting somebody at a club or at a Starbucks or at the store.
Well, here's what I have to say. I am a veteran of online dating. In fact, several years ago, I had over 150 dates in 1 month. I wrote an ad that called in 5,000 replies in about 6 weeks. So I'm really good at this kind of this online dating thing. And
then I'm listening very carefully.
Listen carefully. Here's what I have to say. For men especially, you have to have a good picture. I mean, that's the number one thing. Don't these guys are taking their picture with their iPhone in the mirror at the bathroom and stuff like that. That's just not happening. Please get a decent, good picture.
Have a friend take one for you, something like that.
Something good, all right? That definitely represents you. Online dating is interesting because a lot of people are not always honest. That's one of the big problems. For writing a profile, there is definitely a way to do it and a way not to do it. And the way not to do it is to talk about, gee, I like sunsets and cuddles and walking in the whatever. Who doesn't with the right person, right? What makes you, Ray? What makes you stand out as a man? That's what we want to know, really. What are your, not, I like to this, I like to that. I mean, you got to come from the heart. You got to come from some passion, right with commitment. When you think of the word nice profile, don't be nice. Be strong.
Yeah. Nice guys are a dime a dozen.
Well, it's not the nice. The nice has no commitment. The word nice has no passion and commitment to it.
They don't interest women.
Right. And that doesn't mean you need to be a bad man. That's not what we're talking about here.
No.
But you need to be passionate. You need to be committed. You need to be strong in some of your beliefs and how you feel about them. As far as writing, don't wink. Don't wink.
Yay.
I mean, just don't go there because if you can't take the time to write to me, I just ignore the rest of that.
Time?
Yeah,
I have a friend who's told me that, and I've argued with her about it, but I think I'm on the losing side of that, so I might abandon it.
Quit winking. There's nothing to it. You press a button. So what? I don't feel special when you wink at me.
No.
You could be winking at a million girls that way.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The same with sending a generic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I liked
form
your
letters.
Profile.
Oh my God. I remember the guy who actually had form. You could tell he'd sent out these form letters to everybody. Which in an email reply, when you are looking at somebody's profile and you want their attention, you're going to do it the same way you would do a compliment on a date or paying attention. You're paying attention to that profile and you're writing in a way that shows that you completely read that profile. My profile, I have one up. I'm not on a site that I'm not at liberty to say. No. And anyway, it very clearly says if you haven't read a book and you're married, don't contact me. And of course, then we'll get these married men contact me. Obviously, they have not read anything. Read her profile. Tell her what about her profile or her picture or whatever struck you. Specifically. Not just, hey, nice profile.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You concur on that?
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The more obscure the detail and the further down to the end of the profile, the better.
Right.
Because she likes to know you read the whole thing.
Right. And, of course, I always say, don't get too caught up in too many emails. I mean, you don't want to come across and say, if you're not going to contact me, in 2 emails, forget it. Because women need to be cautious out there as well as men about what's going on. But you also don't want to get caught in the fantasy. The problem with online dating and emails is there's a fantasy element to it where you're projecting your own feelings about what they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it caught up in that little fantasy, and it's really easy to go there. And then you meet them.
Nothing.
And that can be sad. I had this very hot thing with when the weekly was out, and you had to write, because there was no, you'd write and you'd send it into the weekly every week. That was a long time ago. And we had this really hot thing going on because he'd written this little story about himself, and he was with the fedora guy. And I wrote a story back where the fedora man saw this woman go by in this, convertible, and, was just wanted to know who she was. And so then my story kind of ended. And then he wrote the story on the tag of mine, and we went for like 7 weeks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everybody was just reading. The people at the Weekly called me and said, "Oh, my God, we're all just anticipating every week about what the next one." And then we met, and it was really sad. We really didn't have any chemistry. We hung out. That was fine. We ended up being friends. But, so there it is.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
So at this point, what I want to say to the ladies out there who are listening is don't expect men to give you long email correspondence. It does not make you safer. Meet somebody at a Starbucks. It's a public place. Don't give them your information. Just meet them there. It's safe. It really, really is.
Yeah.
As long as you're intelligent about it. And
if you have a bad vibe, you don't go.
Don't.
And that's for the men too, by the way, guys. You got a bad vibe, just don't go, because you'll get the vibe if it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Ray, I say that jump on board there. Happy to look at your profile if you want to shoot it my way, and see what it looks like when you have it on, or if it's on there, and happy trails type of thing. Don't write "I like women that are 5'2", blonde, 103 pounds." Unless that's absolutely the only woman you'll ever go out with in your lifetime. When it comes to what type of woman I like, you need to have a specific value system going on, a really specific criteria, so that she knows whether or not she falls into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not married.
Right. Not married. And never do this. This is a dating etiquette. No. One man asked me once, "Okay, so we're going to meet," and he says, "Well, what do you look like?" And I said, "Well, you have my picture." And he goes, No, but what do you look like? And I said, "Well, you'd have to meet me to find that out." And he goes, "Well, gosh, I'm just really worried about, spending time meeting somebody and it's just not working out." And so facetiously, I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll stand on the corner of, 15th and whatever, right? And you can just do a drive-by. And if you're not happy, you can just keep driving. Or if you're happy, you can honk your horn and pull over and park." And he goes, "My God, that would be excellent."
And he
was very serious.
"Okay, thanks, bye."
Yeah, and I'm like, that would be excellent, wouldn't it? But I'm not interested in dating you. So, don't do that, Ray.
Okay, I promise I will not do any of that.
You do not sound like the kind of guy who would have thought of it.
I would never.
We appreciate the phone call, Ray.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
We are, we're going to take a quick break here, and we will be back with more talking with Tanja and Roxanne, whatever it is we talk about.
Dr. Doreen Virtue, and you're listening to Contact Talk Radio.
Is your sex life non-existent? Do sexual dysfunctions leave you soft? Is internet porn getting more than you are? Or are you paying more attention to porn than your partner? Have you tried talk therapy and it got you nowhere? You are not alone. You can be freed from sexual shame, guilt, and dissatisfaction. A visit to the Tantra teacher is in order. Call now and mention you heard the Tantra teacher on the radio and get a very special offer. Stop waiting for a miracle and call right now. 206-276-2735. Phone consultations or in person will get you the information you need to be successful in your love life. But you have to call now. 206-276-2735. Stop making excuses. Call the Tantra teacher. 206-276-2735.
Attention all civilians.
This is ContactTalkRadio.com, making contact with what matters to you.
Are you one of the 40 million sexless couples in the U.S.? Are you wondering why having sex leaves you feeling lonely? Are you suffering from the myths of sexual dysfunction? Do you know in your heart that there has to be more than what you're currently getting out of making love? To rid yourself of sexual ignorance, get more out of your lovemaking, and find out more about spiritual sexual connection, then you need to check out www.thetantrateacher.com to receive your free copy of the ebook called Secrets of the Tantra Teacher. Don't suffer another minute without the sexual loving and ecstatic bliss you were born to receive. Get to www.thetantrateacher.com right now. That's www.thetantrateacher.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Wayne Dyer, and you're listening to Contact Radio.
Now is your chance to be part of the show. Call 877-230-3062. Call in with your questions or thoughts and talk with the host and their guest. Again, that number is 877-230-3062.
Just make that the tantric hustle. Do the hustle. Yeah, we like that. I'm into the 70s thing. It works for me just fine.
There's a little dance party going on at Contact Radio.
We're dancing. It's all good. So we've been talking about learningtantra.com's new men's dating etiquette program, coaching program. And I'm here with Roxanne, my beautiful, fabulous, one of my beautiful and fabulous trainers and coaches.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And we've been talking about, how to have that sexy voice when we were on the break. Like, what makes a sexy voice? There isn't, I have to say here that, ladies, if you're thinking about what makes a sexy voice, remember, one of the things men love the most is, anything that has anything to do with, yeah, that works. So a nice sign of you can't go wrong with that. And by the way, gentlemen, women like that as well. That works. Can we have one of those, Gary? Can you do one of those? He's contemplating here if he's going to do one of those. Listening. Yeah. Oh, see? Ooh. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, sexy talk at Contact Talk Radio. And there is an art to compliments and pillow talk.
Oh, yes, please. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. One of the things that, one of the first ways we interacted at one of my classes was me using you as an example to give a compliment to, right?
Yes.
Right. Because men will say, well, I do compliment her. And a man might say, wow, nice ass. And, thinking that's a really brilliant compliment. Or, yeah, that would be no.
Gentlemen, if she has a nice ass, she's heard that one before.
And usually from construction workers or people that she may not even want to hear that from. So there's different ways to do this. And really it's an art form, so it does take practice. If she's beautiful and you just say, you're beautiful, once again, generic, heard that, sexy. Yeah, I do like hearing I'm sexy, though. I ever like that. But I do even appreciate more, why do you think I'm sexy?
Yeah.
So it's really women want to hear the whys. And I'll tell you, men do too. I mean, you can say it to a man, you're really hot, you're really handsome. But when you say, wow, that wow, I love the way your biceps bulge when you wear that shirt. Yeah. Gary's having a good time over there. So the same thing with a woman. So I looked across the classroom at Roxanne, and Roxanne's sitting there. And like I said, she's an incredibly delicious feminine woman. And I said, so if I was going to compliment Roxanne, I would say something like, and, I use hand gestures when I do this too. And of course that really helps, right? But I put my hand up and I said, and I'm going to trail my hand as you follow my conversation down. And I said, I really love the way your hair cascades around your cheek and then follows down low into, just that trailing off right there.
Roxanne's having a special moment.
Roxanne having a special moment right now. And I think what did you say to me?
I asked you to marry me.
Yeah, there you go. You see? So there you have it.
Totally wicked! Oh, why didn't I think of that?
I know, really.
Tanya's response to my marriage proposal was, I get that a lot.
I get that a lot. That's a weird thing. So there is a definite art form to it. And, I didn't even have to say a lot. There wasn't a lot of words.
No.
But part of it is the gesture. She was following my hand intently as to where my fingers were going. And that really adds to that. So if I was talking about Roxanne's posterior, which is quite beautiful as well. I would probably be using that gesture of, Roxanne, I love the way your low back, she's going to have a big special moment now. The curve of your low back just glides so elegantly right into,
I wish you people could see this. No, wait, I'm glad you can't.
Gentlemen, really. And, even saying something to the woman and she starts to smile, say, I adore the way the left side of your mouth rolls up right before you break into a huge grin.
Mm-hmm.
You are paying attention. You are paying attention to something specific about her. That's great. Saying, and here's I could say, Roxanne, wow, that's a lovely outfit. But even better, Roxanne, you make that outfit rock. That's so much better.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Pillow talk, you got to take that into the bedroom, right? And so those sounds, when you can't maybe express the words because you're looking at her and she's so incredibly delicious and yummy and your brain's not functioning right then, you can just look at her and go, wow. Yeah, that works, that works. But be verbally expressive. Women love verbal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of verbal. And the one thing it helps us do is stay in the moment that we're in as well.
Yeah, because if there's silence, I'm getting all in my head and I'm thinking, what does he think about me? Is that part that I don't like jiggling in an unattractive way? Yes, right. These are what we think about.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? It's not sexy. If you want us to cut loose, tell us how much you appreciate it.
Right. And you don't have to break out the 4-letter words. This does not have to be something where, you've watched too much porn and you're just busting it all out. It really it's an art form. It's an art form of appreciation, And you're going to sound maybe you're going to feel goofy when you first start it.
Yeah, but when she goes,
yeah, exactly. When she melts into you and thinks, oh, yeah, that is just so incredible. I cannot believe he was I could do that. We're loving that. We're loving that. So do practice. And you can practice in front of the mirror.
And the more comfortable we feel,
yeah,
the better we're going to be for you.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yes.
And we have another caller.
Hooray.
All right. Kristen from
I wanted to say hi to Roxanne. This is her friend, Goddess of Night from Live Journal.
Hi. How are you, sweetie?
I just wanted to let you know that I think that your voice is the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful voices that I've ever heard.
How wonderful is that?
Thank you. Oh.
You're welcome. Since I got to hear yours, I would call in and let you hear mine.
Thank you. I'm so glad we did. So do you have anything that you'd like to say to us about men and dating and sex and intimacy?
Just like you said, that, men really need to emulate their masculinity. I mean, most people these days, you walk in the room and you don't really feel that vibe.
Tell me about a man that you remember seeing and just thinking, what was it about him?
I'm really a sucker for big biceps.
Well, that's a visual. What about something that you couldn't quite quantify, but you felt it?
That's a hard one. I don't know.
For me, there's something about a man who stands up straight. That military bearing is just delicious.
I think you're right. Good posture is important.
Guy who slouches, not hot.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I think most women would agree on that.
Yeah, I think the same goes for women too.
Really true.
I concur. I was at Palisades last week. And I was shocked. I was shocked because, we're going to have a dating etiquette program for women as well. I am we need to do that because I'm sitting at Palisades, which is a pretty decent restaurant here in Seattle, right?
It's lovely.
And there's guys wearing, numbers on their clothes. And there's a woman there. She's all slouched over. She's a beautiful one, all slouched over, elbows on the table. And then she starts picking her teeth. Now, her date, who was entranced with her, still sat back. He sat back in his chair and he just sat there. And then after picking her teeth, and we're talking not kind of, just like straight on picking her teeth, okay? The kind you do at home by yourself.
I wish you could see this.
I know.
The demo is good.
And, yeah, exactly. And then she has long hair, and then she pulled her long hair out in front of her and started kind of combing it out across the table. And I'm thinking,
go to the bathroom?
Yeah, my mom is rolling in her grave. She's strict German, oppression. I mean, rolling in her grave there on that stuff. And every time she'd do something like that, he would just kind of sit back a little bit further. I mean, he obviously liked her, but he was going, all right. And, it was kind of tragic to look around. So, I mean, I think men and women both need education. Mm-hmm. Certainly, we're not dissing men here because women are just as ignorant about... the problem is we used to teach this in the home because people had more entertainment in their home, right? We used to bring people over, you'd kind of see how it went. We don't really do that much anymore.
No.
So,
I think that's definitely something that needs to be brought back.
Right. And, if your parents aren't role modeling it, and it used to be that there were really nice restaurants. If you went out, it was a big deal. Anymore you can go, you're at McDonald's, you go to all these restaurants.
Place now.
Right, exactly. And so somebody hits up the Palisades and they're like, they have no idea what to do there. I went out with one guy once who had never been to a nice restaurant. He busted it out to take me out. The valet came to get the car and he's like, dude, get away from me. You're not taking my car. He thought the guy was trying to steal his car.
Oh, the poor guy.
I know. That was sad. I rescued him from that one. But it's nice to know.
It is
what's going to happen when they try to put the napkin in your lap. You don't assault them,
right?
It's
hey,
not
dude,
a sex
don't touch
thing.
me
It's
like
okay.
that. It's right.
But one of the things that I really want to make clear about the dating program is that really we're all about telling you what you do right, and magnifying that,
right, enhancing that confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right?
Because we love men.
But I think that's really the key is that people don't have as much confidence anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you weren't taught and you don't know, it's easy to get lost out there in the world and feel like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah. And that translates, women look at men that don't have confidence in a date as they're not going to have confidence in their world, in their life, or the bedroom either.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately...
I think about it because I've been married for almost 8 years to my husband. I'm like, oh God, I hope he doesn't ever leave me because I don't want to have to go back to the dating scene. It's horrible out there.
It's funny that you should mention that because should you ever become in danger, learningtantra.com has a couples rescue program.
Right. So you never have to worry about whether or not, if you're on shaky ground, you know who to call.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you safe,
I don't really
sweetie.
think so. It's just kind of a thought that I had. It's like, oh God, the world, there's so many horrible people out there. I mean, I listen to my friends talk about this and that all the time, and I'm like, thank God I don't have to worry about that.
Yay.
Well, you know what? It's all going to change. It's all changing because we're on it now, eradicating ignorance when it comes to relationships and sexuality and all that. Mm-hmm. And 10 years from now, 8 years from now, it's going to be a different world.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different world.
That's another big key is ignorance. There's a lot of ignorant people out there.
We're eradicating it, at least in this arena.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mission of learningtantra.com.
Yeah, so tell your friends to listen to Contact Talk Radio and download the podcast so they can hear you.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I was on the radio. Woohoo!
Yay! You're a superstar now.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I appreciate your call.
You're welcome. It was nice to get to talk to you, Roxanne.
I will see you in the blogosphere very soon.
Yeah, I'm back now. He went back to Vegas, so I'll be back on more often.
Oh, good. Good. I'm looking forward to it. It is lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We love it when people call in.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
It's so fun. It's so fun. Yes, we are not here to harsh your gig, harsh anybody's gig.
Mm-mm.
I am so, I feel so much because of when I say the word ignorant, it truly means that we were not taught.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Ignorant means you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what you don't know, you have no clue.
Yeah.
That's profound. I want somebody to write that on a bumper sticker and have my name behind it, because that's really the simplicity of it. And when a man takes a woman out, I was talking to one of my clients who said the reason she married her husband is because he was the first man that led well on a date. Mm. And she had confidence that he would probably be that way in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is just so sexy.
Right. And it's so sad when it doesn't happen because you can be a perfectly fabulous man.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, and I don't understand why women are quite this ruthless, but I have to use that word because it kind of is, like that first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many women that if you don't kiss them well in that first kiss, it's done. And the sad part about that is usually you might be kissing the woman the way your ex liked to be kissed. you know? And maybe she really liked that, but this new woman does not like that at all.
And did you have any suggestions for how to figure out what they might like, Tanya?
YouTube kissing video. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in less is more when you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, less is more.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch my video, you know, building the arousal, it's kind of like what I do to this mic all the time. You know, I can feel my breath coming back on me of this mic. I love this mic. Gary's just laughing. That's why I do it in the studio. Having your breath come back, you know, that you feel their breath, her breath, and you're just kind of waiting. If you build that arousal and you spend time building that space, the secret is you don't have to be that great. But if you just go in for technique only, you've got to have it all right. And
or God forbid, just go in with no technique at all.
The launch. The launch, yeah. I've had my teeth slammed. I've had some really tragic kissing, which is really sad because the men were really great men, just tragic kissers. And so I because I'm an educator, I've always been like, okay, we need to talk about that. Because that just didn't work. We gotta rewind that and try that in a different way.
I would never say anything. I would just hope to lead by example. Right.
And, you know, not everybody's cut out to do what I do, which is say, no, sorry, that doesn't work. What you can do, though, if as a woman, if you're really interested in the man and you're just really freaked out, he's, you know, not gonna do that well. I think the really sexy thing is you make the first move by leaning in and saying, you know, I really want to kiss you, and I'd love to show you how I enjoy being kissed. I don't know. What do you think, Gary? No, it doesn't work for you at all? Oh, gee, that's so sad.
Why is your face kind of turning red? Just a little pink.
That's been I've taken that out in the field, and only had one man look at me and say, I've been kissing for 35 years. I don't need no blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay.
I guess you don't need my help.
Well, I told him, I said, you know, did you get second dates? And he's like, no. And I'm like, And he goes, oh, okay, show me. I'm like, no, here's my card. Sorry, that was your one chance. The big rule of thumb, your tongue, men, your tongue, 1/10 of the time, 1/10 of the depth, 1/10 of the intensity that you think you need to do that with your tongue. That's the trick right there. It's not a weapon. It's not. This is not how you're showing how well endowed you are or what you're going to do to the rest of her body later with the tongue. Okay. Even if she likes it at some point, not right away.
Yeah.
Have some finesse. Show that you have some finesse.
Well, see, the thing is, if you give it all away right away, she's got nothing to look forward to.
Well,
and you want her to want you. And to be thinking about you and to be wishing for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
After you leave her at the door, you want her to go inside going, but not, oh, thank God he's gone.
Right. Don't rush, rushing. You know, I'm a big advocate of, you know, the first touch is the first touch and you leave it at that. Like maybe you touched her hand. You know, and the way I show men how to touch a hand, trust me, it'll rock your world. And just the hand touch in the first date, and then saying, you know, verbally appreciating, you know, I really, really enjoyed our time together. I think you're incredibly beautiful to look at. I especially like the, you know, way your eyes are twinkling right now while I'm talking to you in the moonlight. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And then leaving, she's like, oh my.
Knowing that a man wants you, and he's not going to try to take you right then.
Yeah.
Very, very hot.
Listen to us. That's really hot. Okay. Trust us. Because, you know, in the romance novels, most people just think of that, you know, when they take her, right? They, you know, the seduction community talks about taking her. These are guys that are teaching men to go out and escalate sexuality right away. What they forgot is these 60 pages of buildup to when he finally took her. There's 60 pages, people, in the romance novel, or 100 before he took her. That's a lot of anticipation.
It is, and anticipation is
glorious. The very thing that men hated the most in that high school, college, whatever, where all you could do was make out, never go anywhere with it. That's the part women reminisce about all the time. Men hated it. They were completely frustrated by it. They were happy when they didn't have to hold back or do that anymore. And women mourn the loss of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly true. And even now, women want to be on that sexual tension's like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You land it there and you just keep the tension, keep the tension. Yeah.
Set the hook.
Set
the hook.
And we're going to teach you how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies, if you have a man in your life that you're not dating, he's your friend, he's always somebody's friend. Those guys that are always friends.
And they are great, great guys.
Yeah. You need to send them to learningtantra.com,
mm-hmm.
right? Tanya at learningtantra.com, Roxanne at learningtantra.com. Tanya's a Tanja. And say, hey, we need that program.
Mm-hmm.
Do them a favor because they don't want to be always the friend, but they're not quite sure how to make that change happen.
Yeah.
And gentlemen, if you're new in the dating world, it doesn't matter if you're 25 or you're 80.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to get you into that dating experience better. Now, if you're just interested in, just going out and scoring, there's other places for that. We actually want to teach you how to date and how to make an impression and treat all women kind of like your beloved,
mm-hmm.
which then inspires them to turn you on to their friends if they're not the right one.
That's one of the things that I advocate practicing on is, don't just save it for women that you're interested in. Compliment every woman you run across, or even better, every human you run across.
Exactly.
Just try to find the good in people and speak it.
Yeah.
And as you become comfortable with that and at ease with that, you'll become so much more attractive to women.
Yes.
And the women around you will be so much happier.
They will. We are down to 3 minutes, and Roxanne, you've been a powerhouse joining my team. I want to say that. I mean, you are just a dynamic person who just gets it done.
Thank you.
And I'm very excited to be collaborating on many fabulous things with you, and having you, in this dating program is going to be great, as well as these other programs that are in the mix of creating. And I'm so happy that you've decided that you can assist men, because it's going to be very delightful for men to be assisted by you.
I'm going to be telling that story forever.
Yes. And I promise that I will not wear my red pajamas with the pink polka dots out on a date.
They're cute.
Oh, they're cute, but they're just not dating things. So learningtantra.com is the place to go to get all your information and all these amazing things that we're doing. I'm going to be up in Vancouver this weekend working with the lifestyle transformation guys. And these are guys that teach men how to give value back to women and how to be confident. And I'm going up to coach their team this weekend, do some private work up there as well. And then we've got the men's multi-orgasmic class in Seattle in the morning, the women's Become a Tantric Goddess Lover class in the afternoon. If anybody's interested in those classes, please just get to my site and get signed up. Just click on the workshop button on my site.
And sign up for the email list. We have such great emails that come out regularly.
We just put out our first podcast last night. It's on my Facebook, Tanya Diamond, Tanja Diamond. And there's Johnny Bamboo and Tanya Diamond. Well, what does that sound like? Talking about this men's dating coach. He's nice to look at as well.
He is beautiful inside and out.
Very true. And we are looking at being done here, I believe, and had a great time speaking to you, Roxanne. We're going to have you back, of course.
Oh, thank you. I would love to come back.
And you notice our voices have dropped lower and lower, and now we're really talking sexy. You like Gary? He's liking it. His thumbs are up. All right, thanks, everybody, and I'll catch you next week, and more goodies to come.
See you soon.
Bye.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love like sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. Soon we'll be making another run. open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. Welcome aboard. It's love.
You have been listening to the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show with your host, Tanya Diamond. Don't miss next week's show at Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, visit our website at www.tanyadiamond.com. That's TANJA for more information on workshops and classes.